You're listening to the Black to Business Podcast, an educational podcast providing Black entrepreneurs with the tools and resources to start and grow their businesses. We chat with vetted Black entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and business owners as they provide tips and resources to help take your business to the next level. I'm your host, Monique T. Marshall. Hey there, and welcome back to the Black to Business Podcast. I'm your host, Monique T. Marshall. And today we are getting into a topic that feels especially important as we approach the holiday season. And this is going to be a short and sweet solo episode, just a little something to leave you inspired and uplifted as you move through your week. So, around this time of the year, so much of the advice that we hear as entrepreneurs is all about how to serve our customers, how to end the year strong, or how to plan for the next one. And don't get me wrong, all of this is super important. But I wanted to take a moment to flip the script and talk about something that often gets overlooked, and that is celebrating yourself as a business owner and expressing gratitude for the work that you have put in. And let me just say this, entrepreneurship is a bold choice. It takes a lot of courage to bet on yourself, to step out and say, I'm going to create something meaningful and something that matters. And that is no small thing. It's actually a big deal thing, and it absolutely deserves to be recognized. And that's why today I want to talk about practicing self-gratitude and why it's such an important part of building your confidence and sustaining your energy, not just for yourself, but because when you pour into yourself, you can pour into others. So let's get into it. So let's start by taking a moment to really sit with this boldness that I spoke of the journey that you have chosen. So deciding to become an entrepreneur isn't just a career move. It is a lifestyle, a mindset, and it's really a leap of faith that not everyone is willing to take. It really takes courage to look at the world and say, I'm betting on myself, my ideas, and my ability to create something meaningful. And that's not a small thing. It's actually a monumental thing. So think about this for a second. How many people do you know have a dream but never act on it? Or how many people are too afraid to take that first step? But you did it. And you've taken risks, you've navigated uncertainties, and you kept moving forward even when things felt tough. So whether you're just starting out or you have been at this for some years, that decision to step out and pursue entrepreneurship is worth celebrating. And for us, especially as Black entrepreneurs, let's be real, this path often comes with even more layers of complexity. So whether it's systemic barriers, limited access to funding, or breaking into industries where representation is scarce, we're not just building businesses, we are paving paths and creating opportunities for others to follow. And that takes a level of grit and determination that deserves acknowledgement. So reflect on your own journey for a moment. Maybe it was the day you decided to leave the stability of a 9-to-5 to follow your passion. Or maybe it was launching your first product, landing your first client, or making it through a tough financial season when quitting felt like the easier option. Those moments, whether they're big or they're small, are milestones, and they are proof of your resilience, your creativity, and your commitment to building something bigger than yourself. And I think that oftentimes it's so easy to get caught up in what's next that we really forget to honor what we've already accomplished. But those steps that you've taken, no matter how imperfect they may have felt at that time, are the foundation of everything that you're building today. And while celebrating the decision to step into this journey is so important, it is just as important to pause and reflect on the progress that you've made along the way. So let's talk about that. Because sometimes as entrepreneurs, we're so locked into what's next, as I mentioned, that we forget to look back and acknowledge how far we've come. And I totally and completely understand there's always another milestone that's on the horizon and another project that's demanding your attention, or even just another goal that you want to chase and hit. But if you don't take that time to celebrate your progress, you risk losing sight of the growth that's already taken place. So think about this for a moment. When you first started, what was your biggest fear? Was it the uncertainty of whether your idea would work? Or maybe it was wondering how you'd balance everything, or whether people would take your business seriously. Now, fast forward to today. Look at everything that you've accomplished, whether it's big or small, and maybe you hit that major revenue goal or landed your first client. Or maybe your wins might be a little quieter, like figuring out how to manage your time better, gaining confidence in your pitch. Or it just might be as simple as finally taking a step back and trusting someone else to help with the workload. Progress isn't always going to be flashy, but it is always worth celebrating. So every step forward matters. And for us as Black entrepreneurs, it's deeper than just that personal growth. Every step that we're taking, whether you realize it or not, is breaking barriers, challenging stereotypes, and creating opportunities for others to follow. So your progress doesn't just reflect your journey. It's part of this collective movement that uplifts our communities, and it also builds legacy for those future generations. So with that being said, I would like for you to take a moment to really reflect and think back to where you were a year ago, or maybe even 6 months. And what's that one thing that you've overcome since then? And maybe you weathered a tough financial season, you built a new habit, you launched a new product you were scared to put out there, or you simply stayed consistent when everything in you wanted to quit. And progress can look different for everyone, but the important thing is to see it and to celebrate it. Got it? So now that we've talked about recognizing your progress, I want to get into how you can make self-gratitude a daily practice. So it doesn't have to be a grand gesture or something that takes a lot of time. Practicing self-gratitude is about intentionally pausing to acknowledge your efforts and then giving yourself credit for the work that you're doing, even when it feels like there's still more to be done. So one of the simplest ways to start is through daily affirmations. So this might sound small, but the words that you say to yourself matter. So phrases like, I am building something impactful, I am proud of how far I've come, or even, I'm allowed to learn and grow at my own pace can make a huge difference. And these affirmations are powerful reminders of your worth and the value of the work that you're putting in. So start your day with 1 or 2 of these affirmations that really resonate with you, and then let them set the tone for how you approach your tasks. And another way to practice self-gratitude is by creating small rituals to celebrate your wins. So this could be as simple as journaling about one thing that you're proud of at the end of the day. Or maybe it's treating yourself to something special after completing a big project. So whether that's a nice meal or a solo outing, or even just taking a guilt-free break to recharge. And I also think that sharing your wins with people who genuinely support you is another way that you can celebrate. So there's something powerful about saying, I'm proud of myself for accomplishing this, and having someone else cheer you on. And here's another big one that I'd say is give yourself grace. So entrepreneurship is challenging, and it's not about getting everything right all the time. So some days the win is simply showing up and giving it your best effort. Gratitude isn't just about celebrating those high moments. It's also about appreciating the effort that you're putting in during the lows. So maybe you didn't hit every goal you set this week, but you tried, you learned, and then you also grew. And I think that's worth acknowledging. So self-gratitude is about shifting your mindset instead of focusing solely on what still needs to get done, and also taking a moment to appreciate what you've already accomplished. And it's, of course, not about ignoring the work ahead. It's just about grounding yourself in the value of your journey so far. Now that we've talked about celebrating your wins and practicing self-gratitude daily, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. So the vision and the legacy that you're building as an entrepreneur. At the heart, I believe, of everything that we do is your why. That deeper purpose that drives you even when things feel tough or when they feel uncertain. So when you connect with your why, it becomes easier to see how every small win contributes to something much bigger. So maybe your vision is about creating generational wealth for your family, or building a business that uplifts your community, or it might be just solving a problem that matters deeply to you. And whatever it is, your work has meaning, and that meaning gives you the strength to keep going. So for us as Black entrepreneurs especially, this journey often comes with added layers of responsibility and impact. You're not just building a business, you're paving the way for others. You're breaking down barriers, and you're creating opportunities where there were none. And that is powerful. And that is also legacy work. And it's important to remind yourself of that bigger picture, especially on those days when the to-do list feels like it's never going to end or the challenges seem just too much. Gratitude can play a huge role in really helping you stay grounded in this purpose. So when you're in the thick of running a business, it's easy to get caught up in those day-to-day stresses like deadlines, decisions, and demands. These things can pull your focus away from why you started in the first place. But I think taking a moment to reflect on what you're grateful for, whether it's your team, your customers, or even just the courage to show up and keep showing up, can shift your perspective and help you get that focus back to what truly matters. And so as we wrap up, I just want to leave you with one final thought, a reminder of how powerful this practice of self-gratitude can be as you continue on your journey. So I would say, remember that. And choosing to be an entrepreneur is a bold move. It takes a lot of courage, and it is also worth celebrating. So you're not just building a business, you are creating impact, you're pushing the culture forward, and you're also leaving a legacy. And as we head into the holiday season, I want you to remember to pour into yourself. Celebrate these risks that you've taken, the progress that you've made, and the vision that you're bringing to life. So when you take the time to appreciate yourself, you're not just recharging your energy, you're setting the foundation to continue pouring into your business and those you serve. And here's a challenge for you. Write down 3 things you're proud of today, and then I want you to share them with me on social media at Black to Business. And I would love to hear what you are celebrating during this holiday season. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time with me on this episode, on this holiday, for those of you who celebrate. And I will chat with you next week, same time, same place. But until then, keep building, keep celebrating, and keep pushing the culture forward. Later.